have you ever met anyone, people here that refer to Gibraltar as an island? They think it's an island?
You know, it was only joined to Spain by a very small piece of land, you know, very just, you know, just walking across. So, you know, really, it's very strange.
If you look at all the participants in the island games,
yeah,
you know, there's 27, I believe, or maybe 25 now. Yeah, maybe I think these have left.
Yes, they are all islands. Geographically, they are all islands, right? So my answer to somebody is saying geographically they're islands. We are an island politically. The principle of the island games is that it's for small islands that really can't allow their competitors, then they're not able to get like international go into international tournaments and things like that, so that they can get some sort of sporting games going on. So
you had mentioned earlier that like for example, a place I mentioned, Monaco, they wouldn't be able to participate because they're not an island.
Yeah.
But you know, geographically, you know, for some reason Gibraltar is allowed. I
know, but I'm saying you've got to go in historical context. That's why.
Is Gibraltar an island? No, but let the games begin. So people are asking, why is Gibraltar hosting the island games when they're not even an island? Local officials were unable to explain why it was considered an island only for that purpose. There was no definitive answer.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's a supernatural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Is it Gibraltar Straits, plural, or Gibraltar Strait, singular?
That one I've got no. Gibraltar Straits.
What do you refer to it as?
Straits, plural.
Plural, right? Okay, and I've spoken to many people here, and they were, even the souvenirs will say Straits, right? Why is it, my question would be, why do people call it Gibraltar Straits when there's only one strait?
No idea.
You have no idea?
No.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Today is Saturday, July 23rd, about 9:46 in the morning. I am in La Línea heading back to the Rock, once again, heading back to the Rock, and I have a 10 a.m. appointment with a Island Games representative. I'm not sure what department she helped take care of during the Island Games when it was hosted here in Gibraltar back in 2019. But I'll be meeting with a lady by the name of Linda Alvarez, and yeah guys, I'm gonna be asking her questions pertaining to Gibraltar being an island. Why are they hosting the Island Games and such questions I will be asking her. I'm a little late, so I'm in a cab currently. As soon as I cross the border, I catch the cab crossing the airport. Make a bit of extra. Ask him a question. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. How long have you lived in Gibraltar? Oh wow, so you've been here forever.
I've lived in many places, but I was born here.
Nice. Can I ask you a separate question? Have you ever heard people during your lifetime here in Gibraltar call Gibraltar an island? They refer to it as an island?
Yeah, it's not an island, but people from here don't call it an island.
Yeah, but have you ever heard other people say it?
Yeah.
They think it's an island?
Yeah. Future work. So there's a bit of land stuck onto Spain.
I made it just in time. It's 9:59 a.m. I have to look for a cafe called Cafe Solo here at Casemate Square. Sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong. It's Casemate Square.
You missed it. It was very good. It was one of the best games I've been to. It's me saying myself. Hi.
Camera a little bit.
So if we carry on just drinking, yeah?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we'll just carry on eating, drinking.
Yeah, sure. I actually just had breakfast.
Well, I just wanted a coffee.
Oh, yeah,
so,
sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me. It's a really beautiful place here. I've been here for a few days, visiting from New York, United States.
Yeah, lovely place, New York. I've been a few times.
Yeah. So my main reason why I'm here, and I try to get someone, an Island Games representative. Because what department do you work in Island Games exactly?
Well, I was the chairman of the organising committee, and I'm also president of the Gibraltar Island Games Association.
Wow.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're someone like up there.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is someone that I wanted to speak to because I have so many questions, and and this is the reason why I'm here is because I'm investigating a phenomenon in which maybe I could ask you, have you lived here all your life?
No, I'm from London,
okay.
But I've been here 40 years now.
Wow, okay. You've been here for 40 years.
Yeah.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah, so I'm local.
Yeah, nice. Have you ever, while you've lived here these 40 years, have you ever met anyone that will refer, apart from the Island Games, let's forget about the Island Games for a moment. Have you ever met anyone, people here that refer to Gibraltar as an island? They think it's an island?
It's an interesting one, because I think if you talk to the older people, they've grown up with a generation where the frontier was closed. So really, this is how we managed to get into the Island Games, because obviously when the frontier was closed, the only way to get anything in was by sea, from Morocco or from elsewhere. So in that respect, it was
kind of like an island. Because it was isolated.
Yeah. Now the frontier opened in 1985, so since then there's obviously been a lot of free access across the border, so I think the youngsters wouldn't actually possibly identify in that. But also at the same time we're still isolated in the fact that, you know, we're very British, but we're also European as well. Yeah. You know, because we do obviously identify with, you know, Europe quite well as well, because, you know, we voted to stay in the EU during the referendum as well. So yeah, so it's an interesting phenomenon, really. Yeah. So will the answer be yes? You've met people that will refer to it as an island? They think it's an island? I don't think anybody really calls it an island. No.
Okay, because I've met a lot of people here where they say, yeah, you know, there's a lot of people that they meet and they think it's an island.
Yeah, well they do because of that. Because you got to realise, you know, way back in history, a long time ago, you know, it was only joined to Spain by a very small piece of land. You know, just walking across. So, you know, really, it's very strange.
Yeah.
You know, but it is different, obviously, because we're British here through and through. You know, and the border is Spanish, but there's obviously through history there's been lots of mixing.
Right.
So, you know, you've got a mixture of everybody here.
Yeah.
But predominantly, you know, we're all British.
Yeah. Because like I said before, people have met other people and they end up where they say that it's, you know, it's an island, and then they end up having to correct those people and be like, it's not an island, it's a peninsula, it's attached to Spain. Yeah. So so I'm here investigating that phenomenon, and during my research in New York, I find it interesting that, you know, being that you know, if you look at all the participants in the Island Games, you know, there's 27 I believe, or maybe 25 now. Maybe I think these have left. These places have left. Yeah. Did you also help in the 1995 Island Games as well? Wow. So this is great. So I was, you know, when I...
They are all islands. Geographically, they are all islands, right? So my answer to somebody is saying, geographically they're islands. We are an island politically.
An island. So what is the term? So it doesn't. So basically, other places that aren't islands can actually enter the Island Games.
Yeah, I mean, if in the constitution of the
for example, maybe maybe Monaco could be part of the Island Games, could they? They're about the same size as Gibraltar.
Yeah, but they aren't an island now. I think it's when you got to realise historically when we joined.
Monaco's not an island.
No, so it's not an island.
Did you say it was an island?
No.
Oh, okay.
So they wouldn't be allowed now.
Oh, okay, they wouldn't.
Right? The reason the games started in 1985 with just I think there was just a few islands then.
Did you want to drink what?
I'll take a coffee, sure, please.
Yeah, what coffee?
Yes, just with milk and no sugar, please.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
So in 1985 there was just a few islands.
Yeah.
Okay, and because most of those islands were British Isles, you know, you've got the you know, you had Inismore, the Isle of Man, the Channel Islands, and they all participate also in the Commonwealth Games along with Gibraltar. So we were all friends then, and so when they set it up and they said, right, we're going to expand this. So they asked us if we wanted to join because they wanted to expand the principle, because the principle of the Island Games is that it's for small islands that really can't allow their competitors, then they're not able to get like international, go into international tournaments and things like that, so that they can get some sort of sporting games going on. So at the time they thought, well, Gibraltar is an ideal choice because, you know, we couldn't participate either, you know, internationally in most sports. So they asked us to join so that we started making up the numbers. So from 1987 we've been a member. But now... Why
was Gibraltar considered like a place where possibly they could be hosted here? I mean, if the British have a lot more islands scattered around the world, why exactly Gibraltar?
Well, because I said at the time, I think there was only about 6 or 7 islands, and they wanted to expand it. And because, you know, sports, word of mouth, people you know as well. And because they had friends here in Gibraltar, because mainly with athletics, because they always compete with the islands, in particularly the Commonwealth Games. So they asked us because they knew people here as well. So that was the reason. Wow.
You had mentioned earlier that like for example, a place I mentioned, Monaco, they wouldn't be able to participate because they're not an island. But, you know, geographically, you know, for some reason Gibraltar is allowed.
I know, but I'm saying you've got to go in historical context, that's why.
Historical context.
It is, because we were right at the beginning virtually, and they were building up to get this participation, and now if you look at the constitution, it's very clear now, you know, who can become part of. You know, you have to be a certain size, the population, and things like that.
I would think, you know, a place like Monaco would kind of fit that description, or maybe what else is another one? Maybe Andorra. Small country, right? Small places.
It's going to have to be islands now.
No, so it's not based on population. So it's based on population as well. Is that a factor?
Yes.
Someone else told me that because of the size of the population.
I think I'd have to go in against the constitution and find out exactly, but it is to do. So, I mean, like, I've just come back from our AGM in Guernsey, and a new member island has just been admitted.
Wow.
Okay, which was Gozo, which is part of Malta.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, that's only got a population just over 30,000.
What about Greenland? Greenland is pretty huge. What is the population there?
Here you go, look, 56,000.
All right, okay. So is there a particular, I mean, look at Jersey, it has 105,000 people. So what is the population size limit in order to be qualified for the Island Games? I'm
gonna have to. I've got to look that up. You got me there because I don't know exactly. Okay, but it's at the.
Look at Iceland, 320,000.
Yeah, but they're not in.
They're not, but they used to be.
Yeah, they used to be. They didn't come anymore.
So it seems as if the population, I guess. What I kind of say, the population argument, I guess. I mean, it doesn't make sense because there's no set limit as to the, you know, that wouldn't be a reason as to why they can join participating in the Island Games, if you know what I'm saying.
I know, but what I'm saying is now, way things have developed, like originally, you know, there wasn't a very good constitution. It was very loosely formed, and then gradually, as the years have gone, I mean, you've got to realise that 85, so how many years ago is that? 85, 95, 2005, 2015, you know, 40 years ago. So things evolve.
Rules change, times change.
Yeah, you know, the constitution now said there's a maximum of 25 islands.
Wow.
So I think we've reached our limit now.
So Gozo's the newest one?
Yeah, Gozo's the newest one.
Wow.
Yeah. So no more. And I think one of the principles now that they were looking at was be like an island that could join, would be an island that would be able to host the games, because a lot of these islands are so small that they cannot actually host the games. Yeah.
So when do you think Gibraltar will be the next hosting place?
When I'm dead.
10 years.
I won't be here then. Yeah, it sort of it tends to go in for somebody like us, probably
Yeah.
15-year cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is that obviously the next games is in Guernsey.
Yeah.
Okay, but then after that we've got 2 new islands that have never participated, that have never hosted the games. So after that it's
Yeah.
going to be in the Orkney Isles, and then it's going to go to Inismont. So they're both 2 new islands that have never hosted before.
Wow.
And that's because also we've changed the constitution to enable smaller islands to be able to participate as well.
Wow, that's very interesting.
You know, in hosting the games.
Yeah. And the Island Games is held, I believe, every 2 years?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And Gibraltar has only hosted it like 2 times in the last, I guess, 15, 20 years.
The most hosts,
Yeah.
the people, you see, the biggest islands, because it costs a lot of money as well to
Yeah.
host a game. It's, well, we'll go into that.
Yeah.
But people like Jersey, Guernsey, the Isle of Man, you
Yeah.
know, they are fairly affluent islands, shall we say.
Yeah.
And because of their bigger size, they've already got a lot of the infrastructure in place and the sporting facilities. And of course, you've got to realise accommodation, because that was one of the major problems that we had here. Because to host this games, you've got to have enough accommodations. Now, in size, I think for the Island Games, like the participation, it's almost as big as like the Winter Olympics in the amount of people that come. I think, you know, we have about 3,500 people, 3,500 people. So for a
Okay.
small place like Gibraltar to be
Yeah.
able to house these people is very difficult.
I would imagine it was very hectic
Yeah.
and everything was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and some of these islands just don't have the accommodation.
Right.
So, for example, even in Guernsey now, we're looking to, well, they're looking at putting up like some sort of a tented accommodation area for for accommodation, because they just don't have enough hotel beds available.
Wow.
And particularly since the COVID and pandemic, they've had hotels closed as well.
Yeah. Because there was this interesting article I want to show you. It was by the New York Times on July 9th, 2019.
Yeah.
It was written right like at the moment it was beginning. Is Gibraltar an island? No, but let the games begin. So people were asking, why is Gibraltar hosting the Island Games when they're not even an island?
Yeah.
And then it says here, local officials were unable to explain why it was considered an island only for that purpose. There was no definitive answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying, because historically, and now the person
Politically,
that
you're
said
saying that
Yeah.
politically it's an island, but even though geographically it's not an island, which,
Yeah.
you know, people find that strange.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
like I'm saying to you now, you know, you have to look at everything in life. You've got to look at the historical context. You
Yes.
know, what is accepted in those days isn't acceptable now in
Right.
in all sorts of things. You know, like
Right.
the Me Too and all these things now.
When
you know,
did the
everything
Island
changes.
Games begin exactly?
It began in 1985,
1985, and Gibraltar joined when?
1987.
Oh, so like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but as I say, it's you know, as I
So-
say, I know that we were asked during the Commonwealth Games
Yeah.
after 1985 if we wanted to participate. And
So the
we said
answer
yes.
to this question would be it has to do with historical, political reason why it's
Yes.
part of the island. Wow, because if you read the New York Times article, it seems as if they just dismissed the question and they just went about, you know, what's going on the Island Games.
Yeah,
It
but
had
then
no
you
answer.
see this, it says Madrid.
Yeah.
So was this?
No, this is New York Times.
Yeah, I know,
yeah.
but it's
Oh.
if you look
Okay.
at the article.
Yeah. Madrid.
It looks like it's written from Madrid. Now they'd
Yeah.
have a different perspective than we would have, and the British Isles would have. So that's another thing you've got to be careful of. Even though it
Yeah.
says it's the New York Times,
Yeah.
this person looks to me, and because it's this, it
Yeah.
looks like it's come from Spain.
From Spain. So they probably didn't do enough research.
Well,
Or ask
if you've
people,
done
ask the right people.
if you've done research and you
Yeah.
know the politics behind the relationship between Gibraltar and Spain, it's
Yeah.
been very difficult at times. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you know, I consider this evidence for my investigation and of the phenomenon that I'm studying,
yeah,
investigating. Is you know, it's something.
it's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's a supernatural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Let me explain exactly to her. You know, the Mandela effect and everything.
Hold on.
So right here is the lagoon, right?
No, not that side.
Oh,
It's
oh,
this
wait.
side.
Is this side. And then this is the lagoon to right here.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, perfect. This is the road I'm talking about.
Yeah, no,
so that was natural.
That was natural.
Wow. So basically this road just split the lagoon.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, so as I was saying, you know, I personally, you know, I've realized with all these geographical changes that, you know, I realize that, you know, I'm a soul. Everyone here is a soul. We're spirits. That conscious awareness, you know, the one that is aware of everything, time and space, and you're aware that you're here right now. You know, it's as if our souls have come from another earth or another world in which we all share the same memories of a different world map, but it's very similar. So it's kind of like, the best way to describe it is kind of like a parallel universe, right? I know it sounds crazy. It's something like you would see in movies.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to get me with this anyway.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, let me eventually get
I'm a
to.
skeptic.
Yeah, I know. So.
I'm sorry, maybe you've asked the wrong person, but you know, I can tell you anything you want to know about the Island Games, but in this respect, I'm not gonna.
So you know, there's a big Mandela effect regarding Gibraltar. People actually, you know, studied it during school.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a.
You studied it in America?
Yeah, well, everywhere, like anywhere in the world.
I've never heard of it, and I'm so involved in the Island Games.
Yes.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. So I'm going around speaking to historians. I went to the museums.
Right.
I even spoke to Gibraltar Panorama and Gibraltar Chronicle. Hopefully I'll have a piece soon. They're going to share my story, hopefully. And so I'm trying to get my story out there and explain this phenomenon to many people. And so there's a big, what I mean by big Mandela effect pertaining to Gibraltar is that people actually remember when they were studying in school, like high school, college, that Gibraltar actually was an island in between. So say for example, this is Spain and this is Morocco. It was literally an island separated by water.
Yeah, but historically, geographically, geologically,
it's never been. No, I know, and then I understand that. But that's why I'm trying to. This is why I'm calling it a phenomenon.
Right, okay.
Well, people actually, you know, it was always taught as an island. It even all the globes, all the atlases, all the maps, it actually showed Gibraltar as an island. And you know. Do you know?
I get that.
Do you know?
That is because in olden days,
yeah.
Right, the sailors, this has always belonged. It's always been separate to the mainland. So when people historically would draw maps, so they would draw Gibraltar.
Just
like
Gibraltar,
that.
and then it would appear like an island because it's kind of like isolated.
Yes,
I get that argument.
Because those old maps were never geographically correct.
Right.
You know, they're like artistic interpretations of the real thing.
Yeah.
So oh, you got bitten.
Yeah, I think I just got bit. You're right. I felt like a sting.
Well, I've got them all over. They do it to me all the time.
Wow. I didn't know they bite here. Yeah. So, you know, another question, you know, I would ask is it Gibraltar Straits, plural, or Gibraltar Strait, singular?
That one I've got no. Gibraltar Straits.
What do you refer to it as?
Straits, plural.
Plural, right? Okay, and I've spoken to many people here, and they were, even the souvenirs would say Straits, right? Why is it? My question would be, why do people call it Gibraltar Straits when there's only one strait?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
Yeah.
It's like, why do Americans spell colour without the U when it should have a U in it, and if it's English?
Well. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But that's not like a geographical thing.
No, I know.
So
I understand that. But I've got no idea.
So, you know, when people with this memory of Gibraltar being an island, they remember learning that it was Gibraltar Straits because there was a strait to the north of the island and a strait to the south of the island because it was separated by lots of water in the Mediterranean Sea, and it was literally by itself in between Spain and Morocco, except they came to a reality where now it's shifted a little bit to the east of Spain, and now it's actually attached to Spain. It's a peninsula, you know? So that's the reason why people referred to it, you know, as Gibraltar Straits, because it was a strait to the north of the island and a strait to the south of the island. And this is why Gibraltar was a strategic part.
Yeah, but it never happened. That never happened.
No, I know. And it's proving that there's other, our souls, it sounds crazy, believe me, I know, but our souls can enter other realities, parallel universes, without even knowing it, because when we wake up, everything appears to be the same, but there's small changes in which people are actually discovering, and it's giving proof, and these are changes that people all collectively remember, and it's giving proof that other universes exist. And science now is actually proving that this is a real possibility. That there's for example, there's another reality in which we're not even here right now. We're doing something else. We're living a different life. So you know, the Mandela Effect is giving proof that we're souls. And a lot of these testimonies and accounts online of people learning about Gibraltar, and remember seeing it on maps as an island, it's real. It's a real phenomenon. And so, you know, I've been investigating, researching this phenomenon for like 6 years, ever since I first found out about it. I'm like, I have to come to Gibraltar. I have to come to Gibraltar.
Okay.
And when I found out about the island games, I'm like, this is evidence. I mean, even though you know, I know what, you know, you'll give me your history on the island games, and I totally understand it, but there's more to it than meets the eye. And the island games was evidence for me that in some other parallel universe in which we cannot see, right? We can't physically see it, but you know, our souls have come to this earth, and in other parallel universe, this actual land is an island. We can't see it right now, and this is the reason why the island games is actually hosted here. We can't, I know it sounds so crazy. It sounds like something you would see in a Twilight Zone movie, or like, you know, a superhero movie. But no, this is a real, and you can verify this on the internet. It's called the Mandela Effect.
That's fine. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never come across it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same being a geographer. I know the geographical background of Gibraltar and everything, so I find it quite difficult.
So I'm gonna show you some evidence that I have. We can actually try and prove our memories by searching for clues. It's called the reality residue, and we can search through written scripts, or maybe something depicting Gibraltar as an island, or you see the word island. And so here's a Spanish magazine from Spain, from August 20th, 1977.
Yep.
I don't know if you can read Spanish.
Yeah.
What does it say there?
Yeah, it's Gibraltar as an island. But
Gibraltar as an island.
Yeah, but they're saying that because look, the photo is of the frontier.
Yeah, I get that part.
With it closed.
Right.
So basically, they're just saying they have made Gibraltar an island by closing off the frontier.
I get you. I understand it.
It's got nothing to do with the physical fact. The physical fact of an island.
It'll show the frontier there, so therefore, you know, it appears as if Gibraltar is an island. But there's more to it than meets the eye, and this is it's almost as if the change is they hide themselves, and you have to go, like, you know, you got to research it. There's more to it. Here, look, let me turn to the page where it actually talks about, you know, Gibraltar being an island. Can you read this?
A Mediterranean island.
Yeah. So the text is the most important thing. This text actually proves our memories.
Okay, I get that. But anybody can write anything. It doesn't mean it's true.
No, I know.
It's like, this is from somebody's perspective.
Yeah.
And they can put whatever.
It doesn't show it as an island either.
No, they don't show it as an island.
So it actually shows it a peninsula, and I understand that. But what we're looking at is actual. After 6 years of research, I'm understanding that reality is actually a blend of timelines. So even though it does not show it as an island, the text is what's most important. So we're looking at two realities here. So reality is actually a blend of timelines. And I know it sounds so crazy, but here, look, let me show you another one. Here's a book from 1977.
Called Islands.
Ran by Philip Dennis.
Yep.
And it'll depict Gibraltar as an island, but it's not an island.
No.
Right? You look at the back, and it'll describe Gibraltar as an island, but it's not an island, even though it'll show it as a peninsula.
Yeah.
You know? So what we're looking at here is a blend of two timelines. The description, Gibraltar Islands,
I
even
think
though
you've got to look at it as what they class as their definition of an island.
Yeah.
You see, I think that's what it is. You know, you can look at a definition of an island either geographically, like even in the map.
Yeah.
You know, that it's definitely.
That's the crazy part is that
politically an island.
It'll describe it as an island, but it's not. You know, won't depict it on maps.
No.
So this is
never ever.
this is reality resident. This is the evidence we can use to prove our memories. And here I got plenty more. I've done a lot of research on this, and so we can see here that these are actually authentic press photos that were used in newspapers. These are authentic ones. I paid a lot for these back in the U.S. And so we can see here 2 soldiers, the rock obviously, and if you read the back, it'll actually describe Gibraltar as an island. And this is from this is from 1969. Okay, there's more to it than meets the eye. This is actually helping prove our memories of this supernatural phenomenon in which a lot of people remember Gibraltar being an island. And here, the reason why I bought this one is because it'll describe the Gibraltar Straits, plural. See, straits?
Yeah.
The reason why is because there was a strait to the north of the island and a strait south to the island. Okay, here's another one from 1969. It's describing Gibraltar as an island.
Yeah,
If we
you can show me what? It's an island colony.
Yeah. Here's another one from 1969 describing Gibraltar as an island. There's more to it than meets the eye. There's a reason why so many people come here and they think it's an island. It's because we can actually interact with souls from another parallel universe in which this place is actually an island. It sounds so crazy.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I can't accept that because that's not in my makeup to accept that.
Yeah.
My reason for why you see so many references to island is that people don't actually use the term correctly.
Yeah.
You know, and that is the problem.
Yeah.
It's not using the term correctly as far as I'm concerned. Particularly if you're going back and you look at British colonialism, you know, it was an island to them because you had Spain to the other side, which was the enemy.
Right.
So to them, you know, for me, Gibraltar was an island enclave.
It had island vibes, island feeling to it.
Because you could only get to it by sea.
By sea.
You couldn't get to it by land. So that's why, historically, you know, to me, Gibraltar's been called an island.
Yeah.
And so I just think, in my consciousness, you know, people aren't using the term correctly.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's so long.
Let me just show you a few more things. This one's from 1935 as well.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, doing the same thing. It's describing Gibraltar as an island. Even almost 100 years ago, 85 years ago, it's still calling Gibraltar an island. And this is all evidence to me. Here we can go to Gibraltar Panorama, and you know the newspaper, and you can verify this. You know, I highlighted the date, the title, and you will find articles referencing that, you know, so many people are mistaking it for an island. Gibraltar is an island when it's not even an island, right? You would think that, you know.
Yeah, well, he's saying here that he's horrified to see that nearly two years later, correspondents and news and media still report to the world that Gibraltar is an island when they know it's not an island.
Exactly.
So he's basically saying he's horrified that people haven't done their homework.
Exactly.
But
there's more to it more to it. The reason why is because we can actually interact with souls from another time who see it as an island. So it's proving that sometimes we don't see the same things. We see different things.
Okay, but I think
it sounds
we're not going to agree on this. So it doesn't matter to me how many examples you go through.
Look, even with a Foreign Office recruitment advert describing Gibraltar as an island, the FCO has now explained how the incorrect information appeared in their advert. And you know,
and that's bad communications.
I mean, there's so many of them. Gibraltar is an island. Gibraltar is an island. You know, island type electrical, island mode, Gibraltar Electric Authority.
I get that.
Yeah.
Like I said, to me, it's the incorrect use of terms, and the fact that Gibraltar is referred to an island because politically it is on its own, surrounded by other, you know, Spain and Morocco.
Yeah,
that's my definition.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy is I was at Panorama Daily yesterday explaining my whole story as to why I'm here, and everything. Who
did you see?
I saw the gentleman with, I forgot their names already, because I saw Gibraltar Chronicle as well. It was a gentleman with glasses, and then there was a nice lady at the front. There's 4 desks right there. Yeah. So I spoke to all of them. They took my picture with this magazine, so hopefully I'll come out in the, you'll see me in the Panorama Daily with my story.
Okay.
But what's so crazy is that, you know, I'm there describing, I don't know if you ever heard of synchronicity. Do you know what synchronicity is?
No.
Synchronicity is for example, you know, it's kind of like, for example, you might think of somebody that you haven't seen in years, right? And all of a sudden you get a phone call from that person, or you might see them walking down the street. Wow, and you'd be like, hey, I just thought of you. Has that ever happened to you? It's like a coincidence, like a strange coincidence where you're thinking of something. It could be anything, a logo, an image, but you might see a person wearing that, what you're thinking about on their shirt. You're like, oh wow, I was just thinking of that. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, that's happened to me.
So I've had plenty of those during my lifetime. And yesterday was the craziest synchronicity for me ever experienced, right? So as I'm in the Panorama Daily explaining this phenomenon and explaining how, you know, Gibraltar is an island and in a reality in which we can't see, guess what, you know, their articles, the front page of their article is talking about?
Well, what was it? Gibraltar is a,
It was a supernatural coincidence for me. Yeah,
but that's just saying, if they're not saying it's an island, they are just saying if sea level rose, it could be an island.
Sunday, July 24th. I kept 2 copies. I'm like, I'll never forget this moment.
Yeah, but I think you're altering your perception now and the way you want it to make.
Yeah.
Because to me, they're not saying Gibraltar is an island.
No, I know.
Saying...
But the fact that it's, you know, it's like have these 2 key words next to each other, and I'm like, how often? I asked them, how often do you guys make articles with the front page?
What you're saying,
How often? You get what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
How often do you guys, you know, have a front page article where, you know, it's kind of like referencing Gibraltar and Island together? And they looked at me like this. They shook their head. They're like,
no, they don't.
Yeah, it's very rare. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is like kind of like the universe is like, you know, giving me a message, or, you know, trying to tell me something. And I was just like, I'll never forget this day. And I just thought I would share that special moment.
All right. So what more do you want from me? Because I could sit here all day talking to you, and I can't sit here all day talking to you.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, Linda.
I think we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to make you believe me or anything. You don't have to.
No. You just wanted to find.
Yeah, I wanted to research the Island Games because for me it's evidence that, you know.
I actually got an MBE for my services to school in Gibraltar from the Queen.
MBE, what is that exactly?
It's it's an award from the Queen for services to British Empire. So I've become a member, and I'm going to show you now the medal.
Wow.
There you go. It's from the Queen.
That's from the Queen herself to you?
It was given to me, I had to go to Windsor Castle, and it was given to me by Princess Anne.
Wow, can we show that to the camera? Look at you guys. That's actually from the Queen.
Yeah, so I'm a member of the British Empire now, and I got it for services to Gibraltar for sport throughout my years here in Gibraltar.
Oh my God, that's really impressive. Yeah. Wow, you must be really happy.
That gives me, I've got initials behind my name now.
Wow,
that's what it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's very nice.
Yeah.
So, even though we're an island.
Even though,
even though we're an island, it's. I've actually got a here. That's a souvenir for you.
Oh my God.
That's a pin.
God. Is that for me?
That's for you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Our
Gibraltar Island Games.
We had a dolphin as our mascot because obviously dolphins are very popular here.
Yes.
And I called the dolphin Hope. So that hope for the future to do with the seas, the environment, because we thought it was very important. So
Wow.
there we go.
Oh my
Souvenir
God!
for you.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you. Thank you so much for this piece. This means a lot to me. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh my God! I was gonna ask you too if you have any Gibraltar Island Games memorabilia, shirts or something. But thank you. This means a lot to me.
I haven't got anything here because it's obviously all away in offices and things. But
Yeah. If I could get memorabilia from 1995, that would be so
for
awesome.
1995. Yeah. Well, if you give me, well, I've got your email address, so I can see what I can do.
Yeah.